Good morning all, and cloudy day here in Dublin. So this morning I wanted to talk about the whole debacle over the reflecting pool in the United States and how this is a good metaphor for basically Trump's second term. So what do we have with the reflecting pool? So the reflecting pool is this large body of water that is in Washington DC, situated in the center of the city, that reflects some of the national monuments of the United States. And this pool is supposed to represent the people of the United States, reflecting back culture, history, and the democratic values of the US. Now, for the last couple of, decades, more or less, the pool has been leaking an awful lot of water and has become quite ill-maintained. So Donald Trump decided that it would be a good idea to try to fix it. And this is just a pattern that we see with Trump when it comes to not only these monuments but to things in general. A problem is identified, the problem that it sometimes has been lingering for some time before being dealt with, and instead of basically trying to figure out how to solve this problem in the most efficient and cheapest manner for the American people, Trump decides to go about it as a vanity project. Not only that, but he forks out millions, sometimes billions of taxpayer money to his cronies and his friends, his family, and then ends up employing them to try to fix the problem. This then leads to shoddy work, lots of corners cut, a lot of corruption from top to bottom, and the end result is a situation that is even worse than what was there before. At the moment, the pool, which was painted in a very bright blue color, so-called American blue, the bottom of the pool, and this of course attracted algae due to biology, that is, algae will be attracted to these sort of areas because the blue is going to heat up the water that's in the pool, and as this water is stagnant, the algae blooms will become prevalent. So algae basically infested the whole thing, and now the water has gone from being relatively murky to basically a very vomit-inducing shade of green. So what does Trump do when everything goes wrong then? Blame somebody else. So he's laid the blame on so-called vandals who cut a gash in the pool that allowed in the pool's lining that allowed the algae to get in, and also caused parts of the paint to float to the surface, despite the fact that we don't have any evidence for that whatsoever. So again, this is a running theme with Trump, and something to look forward to for the next couple of years as we continue on towards hopefully the end of his presidency sooner rather than later. Problems identified, turned into a vanity project, used to scam as much money out of the American coffers as possible for friends and cronies. The results end up being much worse than the actual thing that was there before, and then the finger of blame is pointed to somebody else, some phantom group, the Democrats, anybody else that they can think of. We've seen this with the tariffs. We've seen this with the war in Iran, and we're now seeing this with the reflecting pool. And we're bound to see this over and over again into the future. Now, it is interesting, however, that this is taking up so much wavelength in the United States that the US media seems to be running stories about this quite a lot. And I know it is a national monument, and I know it is a sense of the great disgrace to an awful lot of people in the United States that such a prominent area of Washington DC would be so badly mishandled. But with other things going on in the world and going on within the US, it's again another distraction project to try to divert people's attention away from what actually matters. So, that's my thoughts with the reflecting pool.